Hi and welcome back to Love on the Brain, the podcast that helps you transform tough emotions into questions that serve you better. I'm your host, Kay Van Dunk, and I help independent women who are single, divorced, or widowed find their soulmates while staying true to their high standards. In each episode, we dive into a frustrating question you may have about love. I'll share some insights, and then we'll reframe it with an affirmation or ask-formation to help you lift your spirits. An affirmation is just a question framed in a positive way to help your brain search for solutions, or at least shift your mindset. If your brain's going to be on repeat, might as well give it something helpful, right? If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a great review on whichever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Your reviews help other amazing singles find this podcast too. Okay, let's get started with today's episode. And the question of the day is, how do I deal with rejection? Look, you've dealt with rejection in many areas of your life before. You've, I'm sure, applied to hundreds of jobs and not gotten them and eventually gotten the one that you're in now. Or maybe if you're a business owner, you've maybe applied for a lot of loans or tried to get a ton of clients and not gotten them and then eventually found one. And at the end of the day, when you take a step back and you find your groove, you realize that one thing is in common, whether it's not getting the job you thought you were going to get that was perfect for you, not getting the client you thought you were going to get that was perfect for you, and then eventually finding that one that's a great match for you, is it goes back to fit. Rejection is something we all experience, but fit is super important when you are looking for your soulmate. That feeling you have of born from your desire of wanting to be connected to someone and wanting to be a part of a relationship. It's not a rejection of who you are or your self-worth. Instead of seeing rejection as a failure, think of it as being redirected to the right person. Every no is a step closer to a yes, even though it may not feel like it in the moment. I'm sure in the past you've gone out with people and you've not felt who they are. You've felt that maybe they're not a good fit for you because they're too short, or they smoke, or your backgrounds don't align. And while you're completely fine making that assessment and call on someone else, they're allowed to do the same on you because you're not maybe a good fit for them. And again, it is not a reflection of your self-worth. It just boils down to fit. So if you can take a step back and look at it as two people showing up and deciding what they want ahead of time and realizing that what they want might not be the person in front of them, then you could see that it's not as personal as it may seem, even though dating is very personal and very intimate. But every experience you're in with someone who is not a good fit for you helps you to clarify better what you really want. Are you okay with someone who is not super close with their family? Maybe you are, but maybe you're not, and you learn that about yourself. So that's something else that you can add to your mental checklist of what you're looking for in a soulmate. The person on the other side is not there to diminish you. So if we look at rejection on both sides as a bad fit, then we could take a step forward in realizing that we are being more conscious than we're aware of on what we're looking for in a soulmate. So we're going to reframe the original question of how do I deal with the fear of rejection to an affirmation of how did I attract my soulmate? So repeat again after me, how did I attract my soulmate? So one of the things I'm going to encourage you to do as you are trying to attract your soulmate is to just enjoy the process of discovery. You are meeting wonderful people, and you never know if the person sitting across from you is going to be related to, or working with, or best friends with your future soulmate. So really just take it as an opportunity to get to meet someone new and not necessarily put that heavy weight of finding your soulmate on the very first date or even on the second date, because you are trying to find out information about this person They're trying to find out information about you, but it's also a process of elimination at the end of the day. And I know that that sounds a little bit harsh, but really that's what dating is. You're not going to be dating and being in a relationship with every single person you come across. So just take smaller steps, move forward, and know that rejection doesn't have to be as intimidating as you're making it out to be. And as you show up in these relationships, understanding that really key fact, you'll be able to have interactions with people and you'll become more resilient. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, you didn't get every job that you applied for, but I'm sure you're in one that you really love right now, or you have in the past. And as a business owner, maybe you didn't get every single client that you wanted, but the ones you have now are perfect fit for who you are. But you're better off for it. Before we close each podcast, I love to focus on gratitude because it is the highest vibration of all. So think of one thing you're grateful for in this moment. As always, I'm grateful that you tuned into my podcast and love you for listening. And remember, when love is on the brain, asking better questions can lead to better results. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're one step closer to the soulmate who truly gets you. The Soulmate Wishlist Blueprint is your first step in making that a reality. This isn't just a list, it's a roadmap to attracting the love you've always known is possible. For 2 days, I walk you through getting to the meat of what really matters in a soulmate and letting go of what's been keeping you apart. If you're ready to step into the love you deserve, the Soulmate Wishlist Blueprint can help you create the clarity and definition you need to call in your soulmate. Are you ready? The link's in the show notes. Download it for free now and begin the powerful shift that brings your soulmate into your life.